Whoa! Holy cow! Smoking! Oh my goodness! Whoa!
Hello aviators, how are you today? My name is Magnar Nordahl, I'm an ATR captain and instructor. Yesterday, on the 1st of September 2024, an ATR 72-600 from Air New Zealand, operating flight 5366 from Christchurch to Wellington in New Zealand, was on short final when the left engine started to emit smoke. The aircraft landed safely and passengers and crew evacuated. Why did this happen? I see three possible scenarios and I will discuss them. I will also explain what we pilots are trained to do when we have an engine fire. First, let us see the video in full before I discuss the incident. A big shout out to Kevin in Wellington Flights Live. He streams aircraft movements at Wellington and Auckland airports. Please check out his channel. Now we take a look at the video.
Oh wow, look at that ATR.
You see the aircraft coming in, quite gusty winds, and everything looks normal until now. You see black smoke emitting and it becomes light gray.
Whoa! Holy
The
cow!
aircraft is coming down and
Smoking.
touches down, and
goodness.
they will apply full braking and reverse, and the smoke
Whoa.
disappears.
It's crazy!
They come to a full stop.
Oh my goodness!
And the procedure now is to apply the parking brake
Wow.
and shut on the engines.
Never seen that before.
They're feathered, and as they shut down, the smoke reappears.
Oh my goodness, look at it! Just
Propellers are stopped, and here come the fire trucks. They responded very quickly, and the smoke disappears, and that means the fire trucks will not spray the aircraft with foam. They will just evaluate the situation.
Wow.
The flight crew will now be in contact with the fire and rescue department over radio, and they will observe the aircraft. There are some small puffs of smoke coming out behind the engine, and they will report to the pilots what's going on. The pilots will also communicate with the cabin crew, and now they have to decide, should we evacuate or not. They are running through the checklist, engine fire on ground, and then if evacuation necessary, they will do the evacuation checklist. And while this is happening, it's a bit stressful to be a passenger because you don't know what is happening now. And you saw the fire and you want to run out of the aircraft as quick as possible, but it's important that we have time to assess the situation. Right now, there is no visible smoke, right? In this case, the crew decided to evacuate. I will talk about it a little later. And under the belly of the aircraft, you will soon see the main door open.
Yeah, I'm continuing to film because I'm sure the safety of the people on board is fine. It's just a mechanical issue, I guess.
The main door is on the left side, after the cabin. there it is. Now the door is open and the passenger can start to evacuate. They also made order to evacuation, so now the emergency exits are open. On the forward part you see they are thrown out and the passengers start to disembark. It's 1.5 meters from the exit to the ground, so some passengers are a bit anxious about jumping out, but they seems to be young and fit. You should not bring your bags. That you should not do that, but okay.
Wow. Okay.
I understand people who want to bring
Really?
the bags with them, but this is not the right time, because as you see, they slow you down,
resolve this
and
issue.
we also see people apparently moving towards
Taking
the
passengers off,
propeller
right
of
now.
the engine that was on fire.
Emergency
That is also not correct. So,
deplaning.
but it's hard to say. This is a telephoto lens, so we don't see exactly how close they are to the engine. But we also see many people moving to the edge of the runway, which is good. I will stop the video here. According to one of the passengers, Lucy McLeod, she saw flames and smoke from the engine. She thought it was 20 or 30 seconds between she first saw the flames until the plane was on the ground. As soon as we landed, it felt like the pilot switched the engines off and switched the lights off. Yes, the lights will go off when you stop the engines because the generators stop producing power, so you're left with battery power, and that means less lights in the cabin. The flames went away straight away, but big billowing black smoke replaced the flames. The pilot told the crew to go to the stations. That's the procedure we use. We make a call on the PA. And the 2 flight attendants went to the front and rear exits, McLeod said. Some people had started to stand up and the flight attendants had asked them to sit down. That is correct procedure by the cabin attendants. Then, a very short time later, the pilot came over the intercom saying, "Evacuate, evacuate." That's also correct procedure. By that time, smoke could be seen and smelt in the plane, McLeod said. It was a light grey, but you could see it creeping in. In a situation like this, many people will lose the perception of time and they will also not notice every detail. But her observations are very detailed and I find them very reliable. So what could cause this to happen? As I said, I think there might be 1 or 3 scenarios. The first is external fuel fire, and with external I mean it's outside the engine itself but inside the nacelle. And this is caused by a fuel leak for any reason. It's quite hot inside the nacelle, so the fuel will vaporize very easily, and the vapor can then catch fire. There can also be an external oil leak that can also catch fire, just like the fuel. And third option, internal oil leak. There could be a mechanical failure resulting in a damaged seal, and that could allow oil to go into the engine compressor. And just like you have a failed head gasket in a car engine, then the engine will produce a lot of smoke. The air condition system takes air from the compressor because the air condition system supplies pressurized air into the cabin, and this allows the cabin to be pressurized in flight. So when the passengers said there was some light smoke in the cabin, it might come from the compressor, and that might be the reason why they evacuated the aircraft this way. But there could be another reason. We don't know yet. We have to let the investigators do the job. The engine fire detection system consists of 2 heat-sensitive elements called loops. They install in parallel in the engine compartment. And both loops sense a temperature above, I think it's about 250 degrees or so, the fire warning is triggered in the cockpit. In ATR 72600, the engine fire checklist is automatically displayed to the pilots. But if this fire was caused by an internal oil leak, there might not have been a fire warning. But the control in the tower would see the smoke and alert the pilots and also activate the alarm for the fire and rescue. To extinguish an engine fire, there are two bottles installed in the aircraft. They are filled with halotron, which is more environmentally safe than halon, as used before. And they can be activated one bottle at a time if they have the fire indication. So what are we pilots trained to do? We have three different checklists for engine fire. Engine fire at takeoff, which means an action just after you're airborne. Engine fire in flight, and engine fire on ground. And if you get an engine fire indication and you're still some distance away from the airport, you do the engine fire in flight procedure. And this takes some time. You stop the engine, you pull a fire handle that will arm the extinguishing agents. And if you still see the fire warning, you activate the first bottle, you wait 30 seconds, and if you still see the fire, activate the second bottle of extinguisher. And then you have to prepare for a single engine approach, and all this takes some time. If you get the fire warning on final, you will continue and land. That's the best option, because it's better to stay on the ground than having to fly around and prepare a lot of things. So you get a warning, and we make the decision, okay, we continue. Pilot monitoring is a mayday call to the tower, alerting them. They will alert the crash and rescue service. And we will also tell them we will intend to stop on the runway. We land, we stop the aircraft as quickly as possible, make sure we are facing into the wind. In this case, they had wind slightly from, it almost pure headwind, so the wind direction was good. We shut on the engines, activate the extinguisher if necessary, and the cabin crew is told to go to the station. Then the pilots will have to evaluate, shall we evacuate or not, because with an evacuation there is a risk. Maybe a passenger, when jumping out a small emergency exit, may have an injury, maybe to an ankle. So you have to assess this against this risk. But as one passenger said, they saw some smoke in the cabin, and that will absolutely trigger an evacuation. So I think the crew did the correct thing here. And this is all we have for this time. I'm sure the investigators will find a cause for this incident. Until then, thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and happy landing.